Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today is a video that was requested quite a bit. It is using your jelly plate to make ATC backgrounds. How much fun is that? You can do ATC backgrounds. You can do ATCs in general. I'm going to show you a few just a few different techniques to play with, um, just to get your juices flowing. Now, I took a piece of I think this is Bristol paper or mixed media paper. And all I did was roughly measure it with an ATC card and I roughly cut them out. And I like to do that. You can see how many you get. I like to do that because once I print on them, you can, when you shore them up for like the exact size of 2.5 by 3.5, it sometimes cuts off in interesting places and just gives you a cool look. Plus it's easier, you just grab and go. Now I'm using this little piece that somebody had sent me a jelly plate, and I like to cut them up. If you've been with me for a while, you know. I like to cut them up into different pieces, so I have different sizes. I've done giveaways where I've given pieces to people to play with and that kind of thing. And so I'm going to use this today. Now, if you have a full jelly plate, I also have a full one that my daughter bought me a couple birthdays ago, which I love. And you can deal these out, like once you put your paint on there, you can deal these out on it like cards and you know, and get a bunch of great prints. So there's so many different things to do. I have some tape to show you a few things. So we're just going to play and have some fun. So this is fairly clean. I mean, it looks dark and it probably, God only knows what I used on there, but we're going to start, we're going to play. So I'm going to put a base coat down. Now you want to be careful of your colors that you don't mix too much. I do like to go lighter to dark. So we'll do light to dark and then dark to light. So you can kind of see what, you know, what it kind of does. And I'm using Sunny Day. Not a big deal what brand. I have different brands here because we're just playing. And this is a light color. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to take my, I call her Roly Poly brayer, and we're going to bray it. We're going to roll it all over. If you don't have a brayer, you definitely can use different things. And I'll show you that when we're done. Now, I like to take, you know, if you have a stray piece of paper sitting around, let's start making a piece of mixed media paper to use in our art journal or a painting or ATC cards in general. Roll off. Just roll off that extra. And we're going to make this a cool background. So I have that. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to pick a stencil that I have. And this is just a random stencil I have sitting here. I don't even know where it's from, who it's from, what have you. And I'm going to take one of my cards and I'm just going to lay it down. And then I'm going to give it a little, you can roll it with your brayer or just push it with your hands. It doesn't matter because we're just going to try to get some of the paint up. And you see it, look at that. Now, think about it. If you base coated this with a color that you might want, and you don't have to because, you know, you want to do mixed media backgrounds, we can do all kinds of stuff. But let's just say, for sake of argument, let's roll some yellow on here and let it dry. And then I'll show you what I mean. I should have probably base coated some of these, and I'm not worrying about how much. And then I'll just set that aside to dry for a minute. And again, just roll this off. Now I just moved that and smudged it, but look, I'm not going to worry about it. You also have this great color on the back here that you can push off onto paper and get, you know, some of your background as well. Okay. So now you see that. Now we can do one of two things. I can pull this up and I'll do it this way, sideways. I give it a little massage, pull it up, and you see how you get the opposite, some of the dirt coming off of there. That's okay. And you can see, I like to call it the innie and the outie, but you see what I'm saying? You get two different looks. So if you're doing a swap or, you know, you just want to kind of play and do these without worrying too much about using too many colors, you see that you can, you know, kind of get series going where you have kind of the same colors, but different patterns, a lot of fun. So I'm going to leave that like that, and I'm going to put a little pink. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not worrying about telling you what color. I'm just kind of showing you. And that's what I'm going to do with the pink. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll it. Now, the yellow underneath, you can see starting to go orange if the yellow is still very wet. You can leave it dry for a second if you want, but I like playing. Now, here's what's fun. Take a glue stick if you have a glue stick. You can see I use it a lot. And just go in and pop some texture. I know people are going to yell and say, I don't like that. I don't like when you do the circles. But look, and then you can just clean it off on your paper and you get these great. So I won't do too much of that because I know you guys don't, some of you don't like it, but you can see what I'm talking about. And then what is fun is taking an ATC card or a piece of paper, whatever you have, and let's just lay it here. Give it a push, give it a nice rub, massage, and pull it up. And you can see you get those different colors. Okay, now we still have more under there, so I might take this again and just push it down, pull it up, just so it gives a little bit of texture there. Another card. Look at that. Look how cool. Can you see that? These are great ATC backgrounds. And now let's say we want to get that off. Let's see. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to roll it just to get the rest of that off for now to save some time. And you can see it just pulls up that little bit. If you want a full, for me to get out my jelly plate and sit and do some, I will gladly do it. Just let me know down below. Okay, so you can see there's some left in here. We can definitely wipe it off. I squirt a little bit of water. And the paint, because it's acrylic and it's not dry, will come right off. Okay, so now what I like to do, let's say you don't have stencils, but you want some texture. Masking tape, painter's tape, any kind of tape. Washi tape is fantastic. And you guys know I do this in art journals. I like to just kind of rip because it gives some texture, and push it down. Make sure the paint is, most of the paint's off because, of course, it won't stay. But that's all right. It just gives you more variation. Little pieces, big pieces, doesn't matter. And you go as crazy as you want to go. Okay. You see? And some of that tape comes up. Not going to worry about it. Let's do a blue background. Just squirt a little blue. Now this is neon blue, so it's not going on as opaque as I want. It's kind of transparent. So I'm gonna wipe this off on here, on your paper. So I'm gonna lay down. Let's see what we have here. If I have anything. I'm not going for a full picture. I'm kind of just going. Maybe we'll do this. I love these little stencils from Plaid from Folk Art. They are lovely and they fit so nicely on my jelly plate. And I'm just going to do that. And I'm just going to see what we can get. That would have been great. I should have done it on the other one. But look at that texture. I'm going to go back lift it up. Now look, I have that on there, so I can, of course, use it on an ATC card. Or, of course, you know, put it on here and get some of that print off on that. Depends on what you want. But now, with that on there, let's go over the yellow. Let's go over this one. Lay it down. Push it. Push it real good. And let's see what we get. That's the fun thing. You never know. So you can see it did layer on top. Maybe not the best, but that's okay. I really don't care for that blue, so why? I'm going to put it over there because I don't want to use it. I'm going to go with some purple because I want you to see the tape. Oh, that purple just kind of smushed out. Oh, a lot of blue, a lot of purple, Cal. Okay, you can see there. Alright, so let's do, we're just going to take a plain one. Not going to worry too much about it. Lift it up. You can see very bluish purple. I'm going to kind of do that everywhere, actually, because it is kind of thick. I did squirt a lot. I went from it being transparent to too much. All right. Okay, well, let's move on. Try it again. I want it to be where I can get that tape to be my pattern, but you just don't want to put that much on there. Now you can kind of see. You see how we're getting texture there from the tape? And just lay it down if a part is missed and lay it down. And you see, that's a first layer. And that's awesome. And if you do that over, you could see, I don't know how well you can see some of that transparent blue underneath coming up, which is really cool. Let's do this one. This one's kind of plain. You got all the different colors, but it's kind of plain. Let's lay it here and see what we get. Okay. Oh, now look, it ripped a piece of tape up. Now you can do, what I would probably do is leave that tape on there, but if you don't want to, lift it off, and it just gives you that little cast. And look how interesting that is as an ATC background to start. I mean, literally, it's taken us no time at all. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more, just so you get the gist. You see? You can see how that blue underneath with that purple really looks cool coming up. And then I can just go in here, give it a little press all over. So those are really great ideas on, you know, what you can do. Now I can go in, peel off this tape carefully. I mean, not too carefully, but and you can do this at any point that you want to. And you can save this tape. This is so ridiculous. This is how I like to do things, though. Save the tape, and then you can Mod Podge it down, because these are really cool, you know, colors and textures. I'm not going to do that today, but that is a great idea to do. Then I can go over this one and just pick up some extra color off of here instead of wasting it. So you see, you make your own kind of, you know, texture background. You don't need a lot. So I'm going to do one more thing. Let's see. Let's just pick another color here that we've not used. Let's do, did I do the green? Let's try the green. You could do pearlized. You could do whatever you want. Not as much there. Do this in your art journal. I have videos on, which I will link at the end and down below, different jelly plate videos to use in your art journal and all that. Okay, you can see you've got that going on. And I'm gonna lay, look how cute these little stencils are. Just gonna lay it down. Gonna take a card. Again, you can already base coat it if you want. I just want you guys to be able to see. You could see your pickup little, and it doesn't necessarily have to come through exactly what it is. It's just the markings. And this helps push it down onto your jelly plate. But look, then we can lift this off. You got this grate right here. So then we could go on another one. Give it some push loving. And look at that, how cool. So it's like a reverse flash. I mean, I don't know how well you can see those, but those are fantastic. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is why I get too excited and I can't play too much. But you see, we have that. Then we can go on again with our card. We can go this way if we want and just push it down. And lift it up. Now you can't see it because it's picking up a lot, but you can see some of the texture underneath. It's almost like it's scratched in. It's really cool looking. You see? Awesome. Oh my goodness, I could sit and play. All right, so you see this. So last thing I'm going to do is on this little canvas for now, just to kind of finish up. What color goes good together? How about some orange? Let's just go for some orange. And if you let this dry for a second, which you don't want to use your heat gun necessarily. Some orange. Let's use this. Try to get a lot of this off. See how I'm just going in a little bit? And then I'm going to take the back of my paintbrush, and you can draw if you want. Draw some hearts, star, you know, whatever. I'm not going to do too much, but you get the idea. And then take your little, stick it there, give it a push, little. Oh, nothing came up because the orange was too dark. It's all right. See, nothing, it doesn't matter. Nothing's ruined. You just keep going over it and putting paint on it. Still not coming up. Those colors melded. It's all right, but you could see where I drew, which is really cool. And I'm dying to get right here. Okay, so it's, you can see it kind of underneath. It's almost like a grungy look. Oh, I love it. Ooh, I gotta get this piece too. Maybe we'll use that piece on this yellow piece. See if we can pick any of that up. Okay. There we go. And you see how you get, it's like yellow underneath. You could still see some of it. Oh gosh, I love it. And then I'll just go in with different parts of different cards just to, you know, sometimes you just have those cast off cards. And, you know, you want to kind of, if you find that you're lifting too much, maybe you're putting a pattern down and it's not doing what you want, right? Let it get tacky for a minute. If it's too wet, if it's too slick, it's not going to come up the way you want it. And, you know, you get discouraged and then you don't want to do it. I'm just cleaning my brayer off on this. But, you know, you want to have a little bit of patience, leave it dry for a second. Do that. Let's see. I don't think, I really love this flower. Let's do it again. I love it. And then I'm going to use this. Now you can see that's a poopy brown color. I'm not going to hate on it. I'm going to let it be. It'll go on the yellow, so I'm going to let it be, let it be. Okay. Giving it a push, pushing it good. And look. These great, great backgrounds for the ATCs. Awesome. Again, you pull this up, you can see what's left. Of course, you can push, get that off, how you say, clean it off. I'm going to use this one. That is like the best print ever. Let's do it sideways just so it adds texture. Pushing it down. And you can see it the littlest bit, but it's enough to pull up. Okay, I gotta quit because I will sit here all day and play, and I'll get that off. So the point is, have fun. Don't worry if you don't have all the, big ones, big jelly plate, you got a small one, or if you have the big one, you can definitely do these. I know they're selling a lot of the smaller jelly plates, and this is just fun to get different, different kind of backgrounds to really inspire you if you're somebody who gets intimidated by the white page or white card. You can see where, very simple, very easy. You don't need much to start. And you just can print on top. You could stamp with a stamp. It doesn't, this one, crappy. Let's see if I can get this real quick. I reconstituted the Martha Stewart paint. I'm going to give it a stir. This is the watercolor to see how it works. That's not going to work on here, obviously, because it's water. But let's see if it moistens this enough to lift up. Okay. One more card. Let's see. I know. Give it a roll. If you don't like to get your hands dirty, you definitely can roll it. Doesn't matter to me. Lift up. Oh, that's not bad. Look at that. It's a nice light print. So you could have a ball. Sorry, this was a little longer than I anticipated, but I start having a blast when I start playing with this. So let me know down below what your favorite thing is to do with your jelly plate. Let me know if you've tried ATC cards on it, and any tips or tricks that you have for me or anybody else who reads the comments. I love reading you guys' comments and your tips. I think it's fantastic. And as always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. We are progress, not perfection. Have a blast. Don't take it too seriously. It's just a lot of fun. And you don't have to worry, too much about screwing up or wasting anything because, you can just do over. You just move over it and do it, and we just keep playing. Not a big deal. I love you guys. Leave me a like and, share me everywhere. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.